Welcome to Wisdom Journey, the podcast where we explore the path of building an online business from the ground up. Here, I share my wins, struggles, lessons, and experiments so you can learn, adapt, and grow alongside me. I also interview experts in their respective field. Whether you're just starting out or looking for new strategies to scale, this is your space to find inspiration and practical wisdom. I'm your host, Wisdom Okonkwo, and I'm excited to take you on this journey. Welcome back to the Wisdom Journey podcast, the show for creators and online entrepreneurs who want to turn meaning into momentum. Today's guest is Katharina Huang, leading author, traveler, and creator of the Veg Out Voyage Puzzle adventure book series. She once worked in machine learning as a data scientist, a stable, respected career, until the pandemic pushed her to reevaluate everything. She left the 9 to 5 world behind and chose something radically different. A slower, more creative, joy-centered life built around puzzles, storytelling, and global exploration. In this episode, we'll dive into how she made that transition, what it really costs to rebuild your life from scratch, and the unexpected wisdom she's learned from combining travel, play, and purpose. Welcome to the podcast, Katie.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Wisdom. Is this your stage name or real
Yeah,
name?
that's my name. Yeah, that's my name.
That is so cool.
That's my name. Wow, that's my name. Yeah, I didn't put my surname, but that's like my name in my birth certificate. So yeah,
That's amazing. Yeah,
yeah.
hello?
Can you paint us a picture of your old 9 to 5 life?
Yeah, I guess it's pretty typical. It's not unique in any way. I came from a very academic family, so I would say like people around me are all like that. Um I studied quite a bit. After college, I worked for a year and then moved back to the US for my grad school degree in biostatistics. After graduating from that, I was very lucky to be hired by my kind of like work study that I was already doing. And so I
Yeah,
just turned full time. Um, yeah, and so just helping professors do research, helping other staffs do statistical analysis. Um, and then back in 2015, my partner found a job in California, and so I was excited. I thought, like, California, that's where all the
yeah,
opportunities are at.
yeah.
Um,
Land of dreams.
so yes, we moved to Silicon Valley. It was great. I kind of, like, transitioned from traditional, like, statistics to, all the buzz, like big data, and that's how I got the data scientist title that I was using up to 2024. Yeah, and I would say, like, life in California is definitely so much busier. N Longer working hours, but also more fulfilling, I would say, compared to when I was at Michigan. Like, I feel like the East Coast or maybe just the Silicon Valley, I'm not sure. But yeah, people around Silicon Valley generally are younger, they have a lot of time to dedicate to work. We ended up just naturally working more hours, thinking about different projects all the time. Most of the conversation is around, like, who's going to which startup.
Yeah,
Uh, I it's a mixed bag because when you're young and do have time, that is the dream. But then after pandemic, I felt like my life was pulled into too many directions. I want to take care of the house. I want to spend time with my friends and family. And we have a cat that's like super high energy. We have to walk him twice a day. And like, we don't even have kids. I don't know how people do it with like a family with kids. And I just got like so burned out. My career was also, it was going well. Uh, Unfortunately, I didn't quite like it. when I kind of transitioned into a more senior role, it ended up, just having a lot more, meetings that you just have to talk, and I really like to do hands-on coding and building, machine learning models and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but it was harder to do that, and sometimes yeah, I think my breaking point was, like, 1 or 2 years into the pandemic. I found myself being in meetings for, like, 6, 7 hours a day, and then
Yeah.
having to respond to messages after that, and then, like, when I use up my, typical 8 hours, that's when I really had time to start sitting down and do actual hands-on work, but at that time, I'm, like, ready to, walk my cat, I need to prepare for dinner, and so I just feel like the modern society is putting us into a kind of impossible situation. Like, I wanna please everybody. I wanna please myself as well, but like, not everything can be accomplished. And so I was
Yeah.
just like trying to figure out what what exactly I wanna do? I don't know. I was not very happy back then, very stressed, and I was just wondering, like, how many years I can hold on to this kind of lifestyle. Yeah, it's thrilling, it's very fulfilling, but at the same time, I need to sleep. And so, in the end, I kind of just decided I wanted to save up and then leave everything behind. uh, I wanted to have a very clear break from
Yeah.
tech and from my 9 to 5, and that's how I got into, I'm self-employed now writing travel game books. It's because I wanted a very clear cut to experience something different, and maybe I wouldn't like it, like, you'll never know. Um I I like it so far. This is towards the end of my 2nd year doing this. And so far, I like it, and so I wanted to keep doing it for a couple years, and we'll see where it goes.
If we were in that moment with you, the moment you decided to say, I'm going to go on a different direction, what
Yeah.
emotions were you feeling?
I mean, it actually is not just a moment. I would say I thought about it for 1 to 3 years. 'Cause
Wow.
the thing about living in California is that it's very, very expensive.
Yeah.
We bought a house right before the pandemic, which is great. I'm so grateful we did that, and then because of COVID, we were able to refinance for, like, a slightly better deal. So, I'm very grateful, but that thing is it weighs on our shoulder. So I wanted to leave uh my 9 to 5 career in 2020, but I actually ended up working there until 2024. That's when I felt like I have enough of, like, a year of income to leave, and my partner helps a lot as well. So it that means it got me, like, at least 3 years of thinking about what I wanna do. I know a lot of people say, like, a lot of my friends say that, "Oh, I'm living my dream right now," but, what actually happened is that I must leave my old work, and after that
Yeah.
decision was made, I started thinking about how do I design a better life that I do want to sustain?
Oh,
So, yeah, I guess the causal effect is a little bit different from what people dream about. Yeah, I never thought I would do something like this either, cause like, none of my family went on this route. I'm still the only one who's self-employed. Everyone else is like, oh, senior researcher or, like, doctors, teachers, professors. I'm the black
yeah.
sheep, but, yeah, I'm glad I stepped out.
uh, yeah. When you decided to quit, how did people around you react? Did anyone try to talk you out of it?
So, to be very honest, they still don't know.
uh,
I My partner and my, in-laws are very supportive. Uh, my friends are very supportive. Um, my parents they're really nice people, they just worry a lot, so, yeah, we had long histories of me wanting to do things that makes them really nervous.
Yeah.
Um, so, unfortunately, I think the best, decision at the moment is that they don't know. I tell them everything else, but yeah. One day, maybe I'll let them know, but right now, I think it's easier mentally for both them and me.
Yeah. When your father's stroke happened, you mentioned it changed your priorities. Can you walk us through what shifted internally after that moment?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my dad had a stroke in the beginning of 2020. It's just weird. It has nothing to do with COVID, really. Um, yeah. So at that time, I just got a new job in a different tech company. I mean, in Silicon Valley, people bounce around a lot.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a very special thing. I just accepted a new position basically. And then at that time, my mom has just retired for a year, still trying to figure out how she wants to refocus her life after
Yeah.
retirement. And so that was kind of the environment we were in. Um, People are going different directions in their lives. My dad was at retirement age, but he didn't want to leave. He loves his research.
Yeah.
Um, but then just very suddenly, the stroke happened. At first, we were just, like, hoping it would be a small thing, like, nobody really wanted to believe it was bad. But it turned out that the, stroke affected him in a few different ways, so he will never be normal again. He talks very slowly, he walks kind of slowly and thinks for a long time before he can answer simple questions, and this is the best we can hope for right now.
Yeah.
My mom, I feel for her. My mom is my dad's, main caretaker right now ever since he got sick. I I am not a good daughter because I am so far away. I'm in California and my parents choose to live in Taiwan still.
Oh wow,
Um,
that's wow.
yeah, and so when I was growing up, I would say I come from a somewhat traditional Asian family. Um where the mindset is that you work really hard, you study really hard, you get a good job, and just stick with that job until you retire. I never felt like I was the person who can sit in an office for like 40 years, but I bought into that security. I love the security and I was determined to make it work. But then as we get older, I started seeing, things never go as planned. Like
Yeah.
the first sign is that my some of my older cousins have health issues. It doesn't matter if you have a good job. If you have a health issue, you have to like do dialysis every week.
Yeah.
Your life is ruined. And I started thinking like is this really the life I want? So, yeah, sure, I have security and I have a great job, like, I got income. Like, should I be complacent and be grateful? I was grateful for a long time, but then, working 9 to 5 for more than a decade later, I was wondering if that is truly my personality, and I
Yeah.
always knew my personality is different from my family's, and then when my dad had the stroke, I don't know why, but it was like a illumination to me that
Yeah. Eye
I
opening.
realized my parents always tell me, "You work hard now so you can enjoy it later." You know?
Yeah.
So you can enjoy after you retire, you can do whatever you want. I remember when I was in undergrad, my parents didn't want me to go to Africa to do my internship. I was a public health major and I do survey research, and so I really wanted to go to different countries, and Africa to me is very exotic at that time,
Yeah.
and so I really wanted to go there. Sorry, I'm talking to a Nigerian. But yeah, so I really wanted to do that. I ended up going to the southern part of India, but my parents were just like so nervous about it. They didn't know what would happen, and yeah, we had some tense months. And so what they told me at that time is that why can't you do this after you retire? When you are like older, you have money, you have a house, you have kids, and you can do whatever you want. And to be honest, I bought into that. I thought, yeah, maybe that is the way. But when my dad had a stroke, it's like everything changed. He worked
Yeah.
so hard. He not only provided for us, he provided for my grandparents as well. He never had like
Yeah.
a day of just enjoying life. He never splurged. Um I don't know. And like what for? What for? Like you get a stroke and then you're forced to retire. And after
Yeah.
retirement you can barely talk. I don't know. I was just so sad. Not for myself, but for him and for everyone in the same situation, for everyone that had that kind of mindset. You waited for how many years? 65 years? So that you can enjoy something that you will never get now. I
Yeah.
don't
Oh,
get it. And yeah, so like I told you, I was kind of sad around a couple years back, but you can probably tell. But yeah, I wanted to be a little bit more selfish. I guess not living in America changed me a little bit. I People are like always achieving goals for themselves. It's very individualism, and I think that affected me as well. And when my dad had the stroke, I made the conscious decision that I want to be a little bit more selfish for myself, even
yeah.
if that means I'm not gonna have a high paying job. I just want to see what else is out there.
Yeah. Wow. Can you describe what the first few weeks after you stopped your job looked like?
Oh, it was great. So I like to make plans. So
Okay.
I actually had a lot to do. Well, first of all, I wanted to like sleep just for like 6 months.
Ah, I love that plan.
That is the best thing, I'm telling you. So, yeah, usually I just like overslept and then I signed up for like a gym membership. I like swimming. I don't really like to do those like super crazy like I don't like to do things that will make you sweat a lot, but I love swimming. So,
Okay.
luckily the gym next to us has like a small like lap swimming pool. And
Yeah.
so I go there to swim, and then at that time, before I quit, I already had some ideas, like, how I'm gonna start this, like, a travel game book series, and
Yeah.
so I was starting to work on that only a couple hours a day. I didn't wanna stress myself out. Um, but yeah, I was trying to build my website. I was writing my first book. And then trying to figure out like how to do marketing. I had zero, like literally zero training in marketing. I didn't know how to run ads. I don't know how to like reach out to people. And so luckily we have internet. I think that's just a blessing that I can find everything on YouTube. And so yeah, I was just spreading my time across just like sleeping and healing and then like trying to start this new thing. And then obviously there's, like a lot of friends gathering. I'm like, I'm free now. And like everyone wants to have lunch. So it
Yeah.
was great. It was great.
Well, what you did, you mentioned you had a lot of plans, but what you do now is you you combined travel, storytelling, and puzzles. What was the first spark that led you to do that?
Yeah, I know it's kind of a niche. Um, what what really made me think of that is that I wanted to do things that I already know. I
Okay.
was very I was very worried about the marketing aspect because I knew that I have no experience. And so outside of marketing, what I actually provide as either a service or a product, I wanted to be as easy on myself as possible. Um, I wanted to do e-commerce, and
Okay.
book is one of the ways you can do it where you don't have to stock the inventory by yourself because
Yeah.
it's print on demand. I'm a very logical person. uh, so yeah, print on demand was a big draw for me, and because I have been doing social research for quite some time in my life, and I feel like I have something to say, and so book is like a very natural way to do that. I never thought I was the person who's a writer, but I do have things to say. And so I want to do like an easy book, not like a Nobel Prize book. I just
Yeah.
want something easy, something accessible. And so on the point of accessible, I thought about, you know what? Puzzles is a great incentive for most people to enjoy. And I love puzzles. I've been doing different kinds of puzzles my whole life. Never thought too much about it, but it worked out. It worked out. It was a great incentive. And whenever I tell people, hey, I write puzzle books, they are either intrigued or at least they are a little bit curious.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good.
Well, what's something about self-publishing and then this word you wished you had been told before you started it? Hey, quick break. Before we continue, I'd love for you to join the Wisdom Journey newsletter. Every week, I share exclusive insights, tools, and behind-the-scenes updates to help you stay ahead in your own journey of building an online business. It's simple, practical, and built to help you grow. Sign up today for free at the link in the description. Now, let's get back to the episode.
Ah. I think if you're your own boss, if you're doing e-commerce or something similar like me, just know that you will make mistakes. And the important thing is to pivot quickly. And don't worry about making mistakes. I think I made so many mistakes, but every time I get like a critical feedback or I just can sense that I did something wrong, like those are the best moments for like getting better, I guess. Um
Yeah.
in terms of specifically self-publishing, um there is a big discussion in the indie author world about whether you wanted to like focus on Amazon or do you want to build your own website and focus outside of Amazon so that you have more control, but then you need to do more of a marketing. Um I don't have a good answer, but that's something you can start thinking about because that will dictate a lot of directions you go in your business, like to rely on Amazon or rely on your own website. For me, I
Well,
decided my first book was only on Amazon. And my second book, which is my latest release this year on Iceland, that one is on both Amazon and my Shopify website. But for my third book that I'm just starting, I will probably focus more on my own website.
well,
Yeah.
the tech of InDesign layouts, Shopify, SEO, they were pretty new. When you faced that part, did your data science background help or did it make things worse when it came to figuring things out?
Mm. I would say both. Well, okay, it
Okay.
it definitely helps. Um,
How?
yes, it made things worse because I overthink it. Um,
Uh,
But in the end, I was glad that I had the data science training. So, what's interesting is that before I started this whole thing, I thought my data science background would help me in marketing because if you're running ads, there's like metrics you can track.
yeah.
Turned out it didn't help that much, surprisingly. Um, with ads, like, honestly, the most difficult thing is getting the data. Once you have the
Yeah.
data, once it looks like clean enough, doesn't have interference from, say, other campaigns or, other marketing channels you're doing, like,
Yeah.
after that, that's fine. Like, everyone can do analysis, especially nowadays, we have so many, like, software that builds us dashboards. So,
Yeah.
turned out that didn't help that much, but because data science, especially in California and Silicon Valley, everyone needs to learn how to code, and the coding part was really the part that helps me so much.
Wow.
I coded my own Shopify website, and I loved it.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I mean, I'm not good
uh,
at it, but it
yeah, but
gives
you
me
got the job done.
exactly what I.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
But yeah.
that's good to know.
Do you have a website? Where do you build it on?
I use WordPress.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
another very popular choice. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the fact that it's open source.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I
Shopify, you
kind
have to
of
pay.
I kind of don't get I don't feel comfortable having to always be paying for website. I mean, probably maybe because my website is not yet making money. That's why it doesn't really make sense. Well, but I just like the fact that I have WordPress. I can find very cheap and affordable hosting and use it for the site versus other options like Webflow or Shopify where you have to pay certain amounts, and if you're not getting sales or any of those things, you have to reconsider the expenses.
I know, it's so annoying, and, like, so Shopify, the good thing about Shopify is that it has a lot of, like, add-ons. You can just get whatever apps you want from their, like, app
Yeah.
store, but, like, every app costs money. It's crazy.
uh,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
it's a trade-off. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Shopify. I won't really say that's a problem because most people who use Shopify, they're using Shopify is basically an e-commerce website builder, right? So
Yeah.
if you're using Shopify, you're using it because you want to make sales with your website, and you already have a product most of the time, and so that makes
Mhm.
sense. Unlike me, that's using WordPress because I want to blog or share my thoughts online.
Ah, yeah,
Ah,
that's
I don't intend to make
different.
money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
different business models. I,
yeah.
I wonder if you have, like, interest in, like, opening an account in X or, like, Blue
Can you say
Sky.
that again?
Yeah, so X, it used to be Twitter, and then another one is called Blue Sky. It's
Okay.
similar. You can just write, well, not really blog, but you can do, like, short
Oh, yeah, yeah,
things.
yeah. I've had that thought so many times, but I
Yeah,
start
and do,
and
like,
then
Substack.
I quit. Yeah, Substack. Yeah, I think what I'm doing now
Yeah.
is newsletter. That's what I'm doing now. I want to start writing
Yeah.
newsletters. So once I start writing newsletters, I will take excerpts of the newsletters I wrote for the week and just post it on Twitter, X, Blue Sky, and all those other platforms. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love that, yes.
Yeah. So I'm still thinking of what would I write about? And I'm like, yeah, I don't really know. I guess I'll just have to start writing. And then whatever I notice, I say, okay, yeah, this seems to be the thing. Because I'm the kind of person that I love to like, probably my engineering background is it's what's the problem. I like to have this plan, this big plan before I do anything. I like okay, so when this happen, what would happen? I don't like to like just plunge in. I'm like, nah. I'm supposed to know what comes next.
Yeah. I relate. And then
Yeah.
every time I, like, haven't even start writing the code, I would already be thinking about, "Oh, how do I do version control for this one? Do I need to write more
Yeah,
comments?" It slows things
yeah,
down too much.
yeah. I think there's a place for that, but sometimes you just have to like do it, and then you get the data, and then you'll be able to make better decisions
Mhm. Yeah,
rather
I
than just
completely agree.
thinking and strategizing about what to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Was there while you were figuring out this part, the Shopify, um, building the writing the books and putting the word out there, running ads and all that. Was there a time you ever thought of going
Mm,
back to your corporate job?
never once.
Wow. Wow. Okay. 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 Probably I have to rephrase the
Let me
question.
give you a slightly longer answer.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, never once. Actually, had a few times I worry about our finance because let's be completely honest, I've been doing e-commerce for almost 2 years, but because my product is a book, it takes a very long time to develop. So I
Yeah.
actually just released and started doing my first, like, proper marketing, um, in August this year, so that's, like, 3 months ago. So I really only had 3 months to accumulate wealth so far, and it's like barely a part-time job income. And so, yeah, I do worry about finance, but I really, really, really don't want to go back to my old job. I was actually looking into if there's a way for me to do like part-time consulting because I do have some like industry knowledge, especially around AI. And so
Yeah.
I thought that might be good. But I really like what I'm doing now. And I have hopes that it's gonna snowball into something bigger. It's just right now it's still starting. So I don't know. Maybe next year
Okay.
I will tell
Uh,
you something different. We'll see.
yeah. The phrasing I wanted to do was, most persons, you leave your job, you start your business, your own thing, and you start clocking in hours that you weren't clocking in when you were doing your job. So what I mean is that let's say your job was 9 to 5, right? 9 to 5, you're done with your job and you move on, you live your life. But with a business, there's really no 9 to 5. Like literally any time of day you wake up, you can work on your business. And so at some
Mm.
point in time you might say, oh wow, now it seems as though I'm working 247. I started this business to get freedom. Now now I'm working every waking hour.
Oh my god, that's a real concern. I think, yeah, I definitely have the tendency to do that. I'm sure a lot of people like you will
Yeah.
relate. My family grounds me because I kind of decided to go into this lifestyle because I wanted to spend time with, my partner, with my friends, and like, my undergrad friends, they are all still in Taiwan. And so like I can only chat with them and I need to make time to chat with them over different time zones and stuff like that. I want to do all of that. And so that is kind of my restriction, my limit. And outside of that limit that I can't change is my own time to do my business. And so in some way it actually grounds me so that it doesn't make me work too much.
Yeah. I'm curious, we've been talking about your business and we're talking about what you do and all that, but can you actually tell us what you do as though I like to say as though I'm 5 year old, so we can really understand, the context of where this conversation is coming from.
Yeah, sure. So I usually tell people I'm an indie author that writes travel themed puzzle game books. So take my latest book for an example. I will serve as a tour guide that guides you through like all of the popular Iceland tourist attractions. The way it works is that every page of my book will have like different kinds of brain teasers, puzzles, riddles, and mazes, stuff like that. It's for adults, but kids can enjoy it as well. I don't put
Yeah.
like weird things in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so once you solve the puzzles or you walk through a maze, you will retrieve factual information about Iceland. I would say about 80% I try to make it, it's fun, it's like touristy, and then the rest of the 20% is like, say you go there and you rent a car and the car breaks down. Who do you call? Um,
Yeah.
or or some kind of like pop culture, like what kind of music is on their chart these years, what news is important. So for example, Iceland has a lot of volcanoes and they always not always, but like once in a while you will hear news that says, okay, which volcano erupted, they have to evacuate what town. And those are interesting information, though I feel like those are lightweight and it brings us closer as people. And so I like to sprinkle in things like that. But other than that, it's mostly, tourist attractions. Oh, this is Black Sand Beach. How did the volcano came about? What is the glacier? Stuff like that. So, yeah, it's meant to be fun, and some people call it educational. I hope to do both, but my main goal is to have fun and to tell people that adults needs time to relax as well.
Yeah. Well, you've built a life being a solo creator, a solopreneur. What does
Mm.
what has surprised you about this life, the good and the bad?
What is surprising? I think I was pleasantly surprised that my friends are all very supportive. I mean, my like in my old life, my friends are all like high achievers. And so,
Yeah.
like, not gonna lie, I was a little bit embarrassed to tell them, I am running an e-commerce store. I gave up on my master's degree. Like that is not something you want to tell people about your achievements, you know?
Yeah.
But they were all super supportive. I mean, like, real friends. They are super supportive. Even my, like, old boss, I still keep in touch with her, and, like, we go out for dinner and stuff like that. Like, she's just, like, so warm about what I what I want to do in my life and not what counts as successful. So that is a one good surprise. The On the other hand, the more disappointing surprise is that marketing does take a long time. Like, building up your social media following takes forever. Um, those, like, pay-per-clip ads, those campaigns, unless you just, like, dunk money into it, it really takes time to build up. And so
Yeah.
how long it takes is a little bit annoying. But yeah, the momentum will happen. It's just, like, longer than what I thought.
Wow. Wow. Uh,
That's a thought.
what have you noticed to be working for the marketing side, and are you doubling down on, or you're excited to double down on?
Oh, you know what? That's a really good question. Cause when I was, writing the book, I need to learn about the book production. I was mostly hanging out with, like, authors, indie authors. Like, there's a lot of Facebook groups nowadays, and,
Yeah.
yeah, I was hanging with writers a lot. Now that book is produced, I found myself, like, hanging out with e-commerce people. Like, it's a very different world. Like, the average personality is just, like, more outgoing. Are you gonna network next week? Are you going to that event? And then, like, everyone is networking and trying to, like, help each other. Like, I would say both sides are very uh warm, very helpful and friendly. So I
Yeah.
really like that. I think we are all just, like, normal people trying to make a living. But the biggest difference is that authors are very quiet. It's like, I want to hone my craft, and then marketing is the last thing I want to think about. But I have to do it. And then, like, in e-commerce, it's like everyone is talking about, oh, how are you gonna do marketing? And then the last thing they ask is, what is your product?
Uh,
Yeah,
wow. What is your product? So you
yeah.
did mention social media. Is like social media part of the things you're working on, or is it like, no, I don't do social media?
Towards social media, I'm more like the writers I hang with. I cannot be bothered. I feel like it's stupid. But I do have an awesome person in Philippines that's helping me post regularly. I will uh, give her, like, weekly updates. If I take any pictures, I'll give it to her, and then she will help me create, like, a schedule and post different things. So, I'm very lucky to have her. I have a fairly okay, Instagram account. I don't really plan to go to other platforms. Sometimes people will say, "Oh, you have to be on every platform, like, go to Pinterest, go to, like, Twitter," but I don't know. Instagram is something I use, like, personally as well, so I kind of, like, know the environment. Other than that, I really don't go on social media that much. Yeah. I
Yeah.
have a
Well,
newsletter.
okay. Okay. Tell me about the newsletter.
Newsletter is fun. I have a high open rate, not bragging,
Okay. What are the numbers
because
like?
like 70%. Uh,
Ooh, teach me,
isn't it high?
master.
I
That's
am
very
very
high.
proud.
Yeah.
One reason is because I give out, like, free puzzles every month, and the other reason is that I have such a small subscriber count. It's mostly my friends. They
How many?
are
How
morally
many is it?
obligated. What did you say?
How many? How many?
About 76, I wanna say.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the past customers you've had over the years?
Past customers. Oh, cause my first book was only on Amazon. I don't get any of their data.
Oh. Oh.
Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you're doing Shopify, that should be like one of the things you're actively working on. Everybody that buys, eventually becomes a member of the list, so you can keep in touch with them, give them updates, discounts, and plus many other things.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the hope, and that's why, like, earlier I was like, even though I'm just starting, I have hope there's momentum that's gonna build up. That's a big reason because I just moved to Shopify this year.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you're already doing this, but one of the things just to encourage people to join email list when they get on your site is you could give them like I don't know how much discount or something like that. And then in order to access that discount or promo code or free puzzle, they will have to put in their email address and then you send to their email address. Everything happens automatically, right? And that way you get
Mm.
people to subscribe and you can keep on talking to them even after they purchased, right? You can even survey them and say, what kind of book are you looking for next? And they'll talk to you rather than just having this one-time sale that happens on Amazon.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm trying to figure out, like, how much discount I can give without breaking the bank. Yeah.
It doesn't it doesn't have to be a discount if that's not financially possible. It could also be, you give free puzzle books, right? You could give a sample, like maybe 2 3 page, something like that, right? So they can use and play around with
Ah!
instead of giving them a discount. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. Just try it, and when you're raking in the money, let me know so I can collect 40% from it.
For sure.
I'm just kidding, of course. But if you give me 40%, I'm not going to reject it. Wow, that's so lovely. I mean, you should double down on the newsletter beyond just what's the word? Beyond just the book and all that. Create a community and uh, and yeah, I think that's what I'm working on now, right? And
Mm.
I'm trying to work on the audience, and then eventually find out what product I would sell. So probably that's why I just feel the urge to be giving you advice on newsletter.
No, I think that's really good advice. I've heard it not just from you, but, like, other people also say what you really need to do is build a community. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely the advice. Like, how you implement it is I
Yeah,
think
that's
it
the
it
thing.
takes trial and error.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've seen Shopify sites on Pinterest crush it, right? I mean, it's you have someone you pay in on Philippines to handle the
Mm.
social media. It's just look for sites like yours, people like that are doing things like yours and see how they're crushing it. I think there are tools, you data scientists, there are tools online that can reverse engineer and show you where the traffic of a site are coming from. That way you can say, okay, yeah, even though they're active on Twitter, they're not actually getting any visitors from Twitter. Their visitors is coming from so and so site. And so you can see, okay, yeah, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Shopify gives you, like, the what's it called? The reference URL, like, basically where they came from. So that was really
Okay.
good, and right now I'm trying to, like, figure out how to read the, not Google Analytics, they have something else. The Google
Search
Ads
console.
has some kind of yeah, the, like, ads manager something. They have, like, a
Oh,
more
oh,
analytics.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Google Ads Manager. You run that?
Yeah, I mean right now, I'm mostly on Meta's, like the Pixel and ad campaigns, but I wanna figure out Google.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that Google advertisement never really worked for the author community. I don't know why. I
Okay.
think it's because it's, like, super niche, but I am, like, a
Eh,
cross between author and e-commerce, so I still wanna try and see if it works for me. I don't
yeah.
know if it works for podcasts. I don't know how you guys do it.
Okay. For in our case is very different, and so how do I explain this now? With podcasts, we run ads to people that actually listen to podcasts, right? Versus if I run
Yes.
Facebook ads, if I run Facebook ads, the people that would see it, they might be interested in the topic, but they don't listen to podcasts, and so now I'm trying to convince them to do two things. I'm like, you should listen to podcasts, and you should listen to my podcast. That's a lot of work. I don't have that energy.
Mm.
So instead, I would just go to these podcast apps. People used to listen to podcasts and then just run ads for my show on those apps. And so if people tune in and they like my show, they'll listen. If they don't listen, I know they don't like my show. Rather than, they like my show, but they're not really the kind of people that listen to podcasts. So they just forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's
Yeah.
actually more straightforward because you know that the
Yeah.
customer is already there.
Yeah. That's true. Have you thought about having a podcast?
Me? No, no, no.
Yeah.
It feels kind of scary, like, putting your voice
Uh,
out there every week.
yeah. Yeah, it was scary for me. I think the most important thing is your newsletter, right? Always find a way
Mm,
to get people into your newsletter. And
yes.
if you get everybody that buys from, like everybody that comes to your website, you should, like, because with, how do I put it now? If you don't have a newsletter, every time you market, you're starting from zero, right?
Yes.
But if you have a
Mhm.
newsletter, you know that, okay, my marketing efforts, they're compounding, right? You know, okay, I have 10,000 newsletter subscribers. You can just come up with a new book tomorrow and send an email to them, and probably 50 or 80 or 100 people buy. And that's sales, right? That you don't have to go market per se. You know, you already have it from your past efforts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the dream.
Yeah, that's the kind of life I love to live. You know, working and everything is just compounding. I don't like starting from scratch every day, and that's why I don't like social media. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll get there. We'll get there.
yeah,
It takes
we
time.
will. We will. It's been a lovely chatting with you, Katie.
Yeah, it's amazing going on this
Yeah,
show. Thank you for having me.
yeah. Where can listeners check out your website and also follow your story and your journey?
Yeah, sure. So I write under the pen name called Veg Out Voyage, and my website is the same, vegoutvoyage.com, all in one word. So yeah, you can find me there. I'm actually developing a free web puzzle game. It's kind of like a way for me to introduce like what exactly I do to people, and so I'm hoping to get that up maybe in December. We'll see. And
Okay,
then people
okay,
can go there and play for free.
okay. Thank you so much, Katharina. I'll put the links in the description so listeners can click and go directly to the site. Thank you for sharing your story with me.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for tuning into Wisdom Journey. I hope today's episode gave you practical steps and fresh ideas to keep moving forward. If you found value, be sure to subscribe and share this podcast with a fellow creator or entrepreneur who'd love to learn too. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter and the link in the description for more resources, experiments, and lessons straight to your inbox. Until next time, keep building, keep learning, and keep walking your own wisdom journey. Yeah.